For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife. The two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. They said to him, why then did Moses command us to give a certificate of dismissal and to divorce her? He said to them, it was because you were so hard-hearted that Moses allowed you to divorce your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for unchastity, and marries another, commits adultery. His disciples said to him, if such is the case of a man with his wife, it is better not to marry. But he said to them, not everyone can accept this teaching, but only those to whom it is given. For there are eunuchs who have been so from birth, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. Let anyone accept this who can. The gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Father.
Ndị be anyị ndewonu. Anyị ncha gbakọnatara ebe a maka ndị Igbo so na ihe akpara akpa kwa eji isi eme gịnị. So eji anya ama ọka kara aka. Nwagha bụ gịnị? Akpịrị. Anyway, asị na ogologo okwuchukwu adịrọ n'ụka mgbede. Ya na mmejite unu aka. Anyị gbakọnatara ebe a isonye nwanne anyị nwoke Chief Nzenwa na Lolo ya Lovenia Maduka were ṅụrị ya kene Chineke. Sorry, I think I better speak in English because maybe not everybody here understands Igbo, maybe. Yes. Okay, yeah, we all gathered here this evening to join our brother, Chief Nzenwa Maduka, and his wife, Lovenia Maduka, to thank God for the great thing He has done to them and celebrate their marriage. Is a wonderful and joyful moment to stay together all these years. And when you look back for the 35 years, maybe it looks like yesterday. In short, when Mr. Nzenwa was telling me about this celebration, my mind and what I planned was he should be the person to give this homily. Yes. If it is something general in the church, the priest or the bishop or the cardinal, we know the best theology to apply. When it comes to married life, I remember my mentor, Eugen Habermas. When I was discussing with him in Frankfurt am Main, he said to me, nobody can have another person's experience. You cannot experience my experience. I can only relate to you what is happening to me or how I feel. And then from there, you can reflect and guess. If I'm telling you the truth, then you will think right. But if I'm not telling you the truth, then you cannot know. So when it comes to married life, maybe those who married stand in the best position to tell us how they feel or what it is like. Nevertheless, since the church has given us the right and authority to talk, well, my brothers, good. And the first reading is taken from the book of Ecclesiastes, otherwise called Sirach. It says, happy is the husband of a good wife. The number of his days will be doubled. A loyal wife brings joy to her husband, and so on and so forth. And in the second reading, St. Paul is taken from the letter of St. Paul to the Ephesians. He says, wives, be subject to your husbands as you are to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, just as Christ is the head of the church. And going down, he says, husband, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. In the gospel, to test Christ, the Pharisees came to him and asked, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any cause? And Christ told them how it has been in the beginning, and they raised arguments saying that Moses advised them to give certificate of dismissal. Christ prays further, telling them that Moses did that because they were difficult to teach or taught. But that is not allowed. If you are married, you are married. No separation, no divorce. And anybody who goes against that is committing adultery. Now, the Igbo people say that when a wine tapper is on the top of the tree and advises his children, he's also advising the children of others as well. What we are talking or reflecting this evening, Chief and Lolo, Maduka, are celebrating. But it's a time also to remind every married person around here to reflect and think about his or her own marriage. Because marriage is a very sensitive issue. It's one of the areas that every human being in every part of the world is always very active and very awake when you mention it. And in reality, the society begins with marriage, because from marriage comes family, and from family, society is born. So every married person should look at this first reading. If you're a wife, ask yourself, can I